Hello, everybody, boys
Hello!
and girls. Just peak the audio already.
Yeah!
It's Critapocalypse time, episode 16.
Holy
of
shit.
208.
The number of the beast.
No, 16 isn't the number of the beast, it's 666.
But 1 6. And 6 times 3 is 18. Which is close to 60.
Stop trying to pull a Carol Vorderman. You're no Carol Vorderman.
I'd love to pull Cara Waldman.
Who wouldn't?
She's hot.
Cunt and the Gang sang a song about her.
I hate that band.
They're lovely.
I don't like them.
Did you watch their election thing they did? This is my election.
No.
Where every single thing was basically had the same intro for each category that they were talking about, and it was by David Cameron one. David Cameron's micro penis is only so small that it barely is visible beyond the end of his pubes. And Nigel Farage likes to have a pint of beer in a British pub, with a pint of beer in his hand, in a nice British pub.
I just don't find the appealing. I understand that he's a musician, it's to your own taste, but
it's puerile, silly nonsense that's
there's better silly nonsense out there.
I love it. Charlie Brooker likes it.
Charlie Brooker likes a lot of things that I don't like.
Don't be so mean. Anyway, what do we do on Critapocalypse?
Well, Critapocalypse, we each review 4 things. These things can be anything that we've experienced in that week, or bi-weekly period, between which we record the podcast. How many things do you
Is that what we do?
record? Well, yeah,
shit.
that's a summation of what we do. Other things we do outside of the podcast: breathe, eat, consummate relationships.
I do the eating and the breathing thing.
Yeah!
I'm starting this week.
Woo!
Am I starting?
Go!
Right, so unfortunately, because I've done bugger all this week, we've got 2 wrestling things to do. I'm going to make the first one nice and short. And I think my review will be succinct.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it's close. My first review is WWE Extreme Rules, the pay-per-view that happened the day after we recorded the last podcast. That's how far I'm stretching back.
Wait, when did we record the last one?
It was on a Saturday, and the pay-per-views were on Sundays. So
it was a Saturday?
Yeah. So, WWE Extreme Rules, 2015 edition.
What makes the rules extreme?
The idea is that every match has a stipulation that makes it, no disqualification and whatnot. I can barely remember anything that happened on it. So...
Joys of heroin.
Yeah. I don't know what the main event was. I can't remember. I think it was Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, possibly, in a triple threat.
Randy Rollins.
Randy Orton. He's
Henry
alright.
Rollins.
He's very slow moving. I think it might have been. It probably wasn't. I can't remember, because whatever happened in it
Johnny Mnemonic.
didn't bother me. I remember the John Cena versus Alexander Rusev match, because it was a variation on the leather strap match. It was a steel chain match. They had a chain attached between their wrists. Mm-hmm. In a leather strap match, you have a strap that's about 7 foot long between your wrists, and the idea of the match is you have to beat your opponent down and tap each corner in order. And if your opponent stops you from doing that, then the corners reset and you have to start over. And the first person to hit all 4 corners, kind of like a bit of a playground game. But I quite like the idea because, you got the strap. It's not long enough for you to get in each corner with one person in the corner, so you have to make sure you have to drag them around a bit and all this. Usually ends the same way with one person falling into the corner accidentally.
I was going to say, if you throw someone into the turnbuckle,
that counts as them hitting the turnbuckle.
Does it count? So even if it's like a race against your own throne.
Yeah, there was John Bradshaw Layfield versus Eddie Guerrero one, which ended with both of them had hit each corner. And Bradshaw was in front of the corner between Eddie, and Eddie jumped, landed on Bradshaw, tried to tap the corner over his shoulder, but Bradshaw hit it first, and Bradshaw won the match.
Why didn't he just touch it whilst he was facing him?
No, because Bradshaw was trying to stop Eddie from getting to that corner.
But why didn't he just...
He could have just turned around and hit it, but it doesn't matter. It's the drama of the moment.
So it was just poor.
So it's Eddie running, jumping, trying to leap over him and go boom, but he fell backwards and Bradshaw hit it.
I'd take that as evidence of mental retardation.
It was a good finish.
Well,
you should see the match they had the month before, though, man. Jesus. The month before. This is it. I remember this match from over... Jesus, how many years... When did Eddie Guerrero died? In 2005. So this is over 10 years ago. The match pay-per-view before, where Eddie Guerrero lost the title, was a no-holds-barred match. No disqualification match. One of the bloodiest matches you will ever see in the WWE, in anywhere. There's a thing that people joke about called the Muta scale. There's a wrestler in Japan called Muta. When he bleeds everywhere. He pisses blood.
About this guy.
Yeah, he's quite a good wrestler. But Eddie Guerrero, they joke that Eddie Guerrero bled so much in this match he broke the Muta scale. There was literally just pissing blood out. The ring mat was completely stained by the end of the match. Apparently they when people were like, how was he alive? Apparently he lost a couple of pints of blood in just the process of just... It was all because when he got hit with a chair, the corner edge of the chair smacked his head open, and then he still bladed because he didn't realise it had busted him open that quickly. So he bladed. See, I remember that from years ago. All I remember from Extreme Rules last week was the John Cena match versus Rusev. I'm really trying to remember what happened. There was Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
And I think they had a serviceable match.
When you hear
Last
Ambrose,
Man Standing, I think. Was it a
know.
Last Man Standing match?
Maybe. When you hear the word Ambrose, do you not think of Ambrosia?
Yes, that's because he is like Ambrosia. He's also a titty master.
He's like Ambrosia.
Yeah.
The small pots of custard you can buy in Sainsbury's.
Yes. He's creamy and lovely.
He's an Adonis.
But he's amazing. Dean Ambrose is amazing just because he's got a reputation as being called the titty master.
I don't know who any of these people are. I know who
Should
Roman
I look
Reigns
up on...
is. No, don't.
I'm going to look up on
no,
Wikipedia
look,
and
that's
find
a
out what
visual
match
thing.
is.
And this isn't.
I can look it up. Extreme Rules.
Podcast isn't visual media.
Oh god, I hate typing with these.
All right, just put the phone down. What's your review for it? Did you? You said you didn't enjoy it.
I can barely remember what happened. It was 2 weeks ago. Right, let's see if I was right about any of the matches.
Okay, we're gonna play that game.
Right, there was a singles match that happened before the pay-per-view. That doesn't count. Chicago Street Fight: Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. I was wrong. Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in a kiss me ass match. The loser of the match had to kiss the winner's ass. There was a tag team championship match that didn't have a stipulation. The chain match, I was right about that. Nikki Bella versus Naomi. That was just a title match, no stipulation. Well done. Really using the pay-per-view. Roman Reigns versus Big Show was a last man standing match. See, I remember that. I vaguely remembered that. I remember there was one.
But you said Roman Reigns and then two other people.
Well, I thought he was in the main event in a triple threat, but he wasn't. It was a steel cage match. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. See, I don't remember that.
I know Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins? He's a liar, man. I wouldn't trust him.
Why?
He's a liar.
Oh, the song.
Yeah. So, yeah. The pay-per-view was meh. I barely remember it.
Okay.
I remember what happened on NXT this week and the week before. They were really good.
I don't know what
and there's an NXT event in a couple of days. The WWE have a developmental territory called NXT. They show it on WWE Network as like a one-off thing.
So it's like 8-year-olds fighting.
When the wrestlers, before they go to the main thing, because the things with WWE, their ring is bigger than most other rings and it's different set up and they have a different way of performing. You have to perform to the cameras. Yeah. Most wrestling events you don't. So when a wrestler moves from one place that doesn't do that to WWE, it's like you will be floundering for ages.
Do you know
it takes
how
a while
you
to
get
get
around that?
Don't go to WWE.
No, Kenneth Branagh, Dutch angles.
Dutch angles, yeah, just Dutch angles, yeah. But NXT is excellent. They actually have women's wrestling that actually has a storyline and matches have a length of time. I don't remember what happened in that Brie and Bella and Naomi. Who was it, Naomi? I can't remember.
Did you get the Super Smash Bros. Soundtrack for registering your...
No, because I registered it a little bit too late. I only got Mewtwo.
Mine arrived the other day.
Sweet. You should review that. Next review.
I'm going to review a very recent film called Maggie, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Abigail Breslin. Abigail Breslin. The film follows the story of a man who is trying to support his daughter as she slowly decays due to a horrifying zombie virus that's become prevalent in their environment.
Fair enough.
It's a slow-burning, very emotional journey.
Does Arnold Schwarzenegger have a beard in this film?
He does indeed have a beard. So you know what this is kind of like?
End of Days.
End of Days!
Or Kindergarten Cop, the start of it.
Yeah.
When he had ginger beard.
Both amazing.
Why was he ginger in that film?
I don't know. But the actual film itself is really, really good. It's very slow, and sometimes you get... It's a bit confusing as to what the motivation is behind keeping her there. I understand, like, the whole idea is that if a parent's going to lose a child, it's based on... It's a very grounded concept, but done in an extraordinary way, with zombies instead of viruses and disease. It's almost like a child having cancer.
Can it be like Lorenzo's Oil?
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, no, it's
My Sister's Keeper.
Yeah, My Sister's Keeper. What a shit film.
Yeah.
But no, Maggie, it's actually really good. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has a few moments where you're just watching it, and it's... I don't know if it's age that's wizened him a little bit, but I think he's aware now that the accent makes some things that he says quite silly.
Yeah.
But when he's just talking to his daughter and when he's just saying, well, calm down. you've got to calm down. And the way he says it, and there's cracks in his voice, I think he's just pulled an actor out of his massive.
Do you think
frame.
he's pulled a JCVD and
No.
shown suddenly that he can act?
No, I don't think it's quite that drastic. I don't expect this is going to be a change from Expendables 4, or he's going to be in something that's not going to be like this. But yeah, no, really, really good. The idea of the zombie virus there as well is nice. Essentially, you have 8 weeks. That's the normal duration for the virus to take effect in your body. So from being bitten, you've got 8 weeks until you fully become a zombie. And instead of just being like, oh god, I'm dead, I'm a zombie, about 5 weeks in, everyone's flesh starts smelling like someone's cooking. It starts smelling like something that you can eat. So, and they deal with the idea of possibly eating animals to sustain yourself. But obviously that would only work as far as animals are available, and they can usually run faster than people, so more than likely you're going to be chasing people than animals.
Cripple them first.
Yeah. But all in all,
babies
really...
can't run that fast.
No, they can't.
And they do taste best.
Oh god, Snowpiercer reference. Snowpiercer reference! We should have like a little title card, because we keep making references to Snowpiercer. But yeah, it's really interesting. I liked it. I've watched a lot of zombie films.
There's too many of them now.
There are way too many. It's oversaturated.
We had a friggin' zombie romance film last year.
I actually like that film.
Warm Bodies, was it?
Warm Bodies was actually quite good.
Nicholas Hoult.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, I actually really enjoyed it. And Teresa Palmer, she is a treat. I have a massive crush on that woman. But anyway, Warm Bodies. I'd recommend it. I'd give it a William Sadler. Yeah. You don't see him often nowadays, but he's peppered in there, and when he's peppered in there, it's always nice. Brings a little smile to my face. And every so often you get to watch Demon Knight again on TV or on Netflix, and my god, he's great in that. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
No, it's all about friggin' Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
I feel ridiculous. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. William Sadler is who I...
Actually, it's all about Die Hard 2, naked
Die Hard 2, naked Tai Chi in front of a mirror. Whoa!
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I love peeking the audio. But all in all, yeah, it's not what you expect, and the fucking marketing is terrible for it. If you're gonna watch the film, don't go by the marketing. Watch the trailer, because there's a fucking poster going about that's got like those. It's got Arnold's face, massive. You got Abigail Breslin in the background looking like she's going a bit zombie, and then there's hordes of zombies in front of. That never happens in the film. He kills 3 zombies.
Oh,
that's it. He doesn't even like his daughter. She. There's a different circumstance to her dying. Oh, one of the interesting things as well, they have quarantine camps for the people that are bitten.
Yeah.
And they keep talking about these quarantine camps, and one of her childhood friends that she sort of dated when they were younger, he's also infected, but he's further along than her. And he's infected because one of their neighbours turned up in the garden one day, and he thought she was hurt, so he went to go help her, and she bit him, and now he's fucked. He's got 8 weeks of purgatory before he's just dead, he's gone.
Sweet.
And he locks himself in the toilet in one scene, and he's saying, I could smell my dad like a cooked chicken. I smelt cooked chicken, but it was coming off of my dad. What the fuck is happening to me? And he gets dragged off and taken to this quarantine place. And there are all these rumours about what actually happens there. Like, there's just one big room and you're stuck in there. Yeah. And the zombie people would eat the ones that haven't turned yet and other shit like that. And it gives it this ambiguous feeling that maybe they're not helping people. Maybe they are just putting them away. Maybe they're not trying to cure this.
Yeah.
And there's an injection that they have. And one of the sinister things is, this injection, it isn't something that comes out of a bottle. It's a pre-packaged, single-shot injection that comes in its own clear packet. Yeah. And you see one at one point, you think to yourself, how many of these have they mass-produced in this way? Because usually it'd be cheaper to have a needle and then just a vial. Yeah. Because you can get you can get, say, 20 doses.
They're making a commentary about the American medical system. Yeah. I guess it's they're selling a product.
Yeah. That's why, and it gives it that nice sense. But really, really good film. I enjoyed it. William Sadler, I would give it to Tom Atkins, but I do feel like the marketing's betrayed it a lot, and also the fact that
movie posters are shit now.
Yeah, they are terrible.
Do you see that new Ant-Man poster?
Yeah, it's fucking awful. It's just so generic. It's just the Iron Man poster, Iron Man 1 poster.
But it's like the composite in even is just horrible. It just literally looks like they're taking photos of different resolutions.
For the Ant-Man poster, I was really hoping that they were going to just do a poster of, it would be a magnifying glass. This would all be just stark red and black. Yeah. It'd be a magnifying glass in black, and it would be zoomed in on an ant shaking hands with Paul Rudd in tiny little just silhouette, black and white.
The teaser poster was really good, where it was just a big red thing, and there was a magnifying glass and a tiny little Ant-Man logo in the middle of it.
But see, I wanted to do something like that, and then have like Ant-Man across the top. Just have that magnifying glass focused in. It'd just be Paul Rudd shaking hands. You wouldn't even know it was Paul Rudd. It'd just be a silhouette of Ant-Man shaking hands with an ant. Yeah, that'd be great. Why not do that? But Maggie, I'd say check it out. It's on VOD. This is how I watched it on Xbox One. with some sneaky workarounds.
Going for your US lot thing. Does this still work where you just have a US email
I just buy
account?
dollars through the Microsoft
Yeah,
window.
because I used to go onto the Xbox 360 American and Japanese stores with my fake. Beat Takeshi has an Xbox Live Silver account because of me. So yeah, all the Japanese ones. I used to just download a random demo. It turned out to be a visual novel, and I was like, "Oh, this is boring."
Your review.
My review number 2. I'm going to review the Retron 5 console.
Oh, really?
Because I've had it for a few weeks now. And I figure I should, and I haven't had a camera yet to be able to record a proper video. So I'll say the situation around the Retron 5 is that when I got my initial one, I took it to Edinburgh, and Funstock were excellent and got it to me really quickly. Like, before they actually had them back in stock, they managed to source one, and they got it to me quickly. Mm-hmm. I went to Edinburgh with my mate Kev. I had troubles. I couldn't update the firmware. The controller wouldn't work wirelessly. Like, it didn't seem to be holding the charge as far as I could tell. And then after a few days, the SNES Mega Drive and Game Boy Advance ports all died on me, which was great. And it wasn't from a cartridge error or something. They just died. Like, the carts had been fine, the slots were fine, everything was working, everything seemed to be fine. We literally played a SNES game, played a NES game, put in a Mega Drive game, and it didn't work. And the NES carried on working. It was really weird. So I got that exchanged. Funstock, again, like, I was on the phone for 30 seconds sorting out the exchange. They literally asked for my order, went, okay, here's a label, we'll pick it up soon, and all this.
Do you have to print the label off yourself?
Yeah, print the label off, take it to the post office, and then they send you another one a few days later. I need to print off my ticket for the Amanda Palmer concert I'm going to in a few weeks. Must remember. But they got me a new Retron. This one, updated straight away, the controller works fine. Haven't had any troubles with the cartridges or anything like that.
It seems that you should have ordered the black one, though, and not the grey one.
I like the grey one. Old consoles are grey, so like my SNES. Well, okay, my SNES is half grey, half yellow, but it's really good. I like how it upscales. 720p is fine for the graphics on these sort of things. Some people have moaned. I saw one review where someone was moaning it wasn't 1080p, and I'm like, they're square pixels. It doesn't matter what size they are; they're still going to be the same size on your screen.
You know how you say they're just square pixels? The NES looks incredible.
Yeah, NES games.
I love NES
beautiful.
games on it.
Yeah, I love that you can switch off the overscan on the NES. So if you don't want that little bit that flickers in the edge, but I like to leave it there because I remember that on.
I like it when some games it's yellow.
Yeah,
some games you've got like a green background. Yeah, it's a yellow line.
Yeah, there's a way it would store extra colour maps in there, but yeah, everything's working fine on it. I haven't tried a Japanese NES game. The only one you had didn't work on it.
Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, which was.
I can bring some round.
Yeah, we have to try some out, and because I love how Japanese NES cartridges look. Famicom, rather, is what it's called over there.
They don't. None of them look the same.
They're all different colours. That's what I love.
All different colours, different shapes.
Yeah.
The Famicom Jump game I've got is like that tall.
It's awesome. No one can see how tall it is. It's a podcast. No one can see how tall you are.
It's like 4.5 inches tall.
Yeah. It's longer than Dave Cameron's micro penis. Anyway,
I love the way we call him Dave now. We're casual. Because he's running us into the ground. We have to be casual with him.
Yeah. No, sorry. I believe his real name is Big Brother. Anyway. By
the time you hear this, we'll be dead.
The controller.
We talk about Dave Cameron. He's got an internet initiative where he doesn't like our messages not being able to be recorded.
I've had some people complain about the controller. I think, functionality-wise, the thing's really nice.
Sound.
It clicks like crazy, and that's not good for Let's Plays if you're going to record Let's Plays.
It sounds like an arthritic marathon runner.
But and the digital joystick, thumbstick, fantastic for fighting games, those things. I love them. The buttons are responsive. It's all micro-switched.
Should we just give an example of the sound?
Yeah, it's a silly friggin' shape. Controller.
Yeah. That's the joystick.
Yeah.
That's the joystick. Those are the buttons.
Yeah.
Shoulder buttons aren't too bad.
Yeah, but it reminds me of the Neo Geo Pocket. It's got the same...
It does, yeah, actually. Thing. No, that's actually a really good comparison.
Because I love the Neo Geo Pocket. I wish I could find mine. Yeah, I've got that. Card Fighters Clash Capcom Edition. I was going to buy Gal Fighters in game, and I was like, I'll give that a couple of days when I got paid. And I went back in, and it was that week when they discontinued all the stuff, and they told Game to send all the Neo Geo Pocket stuff back, and Gal Fighters sells for about 150 quid now.
Do you think that there are people that make money in game by selling that stuff?
Probably. Another great thing with the Retron, you can use any controller on any console, which I think is brilliant, even if there's not enough buttons. Which was great when me and Kev were recording Super Bombman, because Bombman only really needs one button. So we were using a NES pad, and the new SNES pad that I found in a shop in Edinburgh. I found a SNES pad in a shop.
We've all heard the story 20 times.
But yeah, I'm really liking it. It's fine. It takes screenshots and stuff like that. Compatibility wise, I've not had any trouble so far, apart from the Game Boy camera doesn't work on it, and I think logically that makes sense. I think anything that's got a second piece of hardware attached to it, it's going to have trouble with, because it has to understand the hardware as well as the...
I've had one or two issues.
Yeah, I heard Sonic and Knuckles didn't work on the original before it was patched after a while, and certain, later NES games that had that chipset that allowed it to play crazy music like DuckTales 2 did in the later Mega Man games. Heard some of them had troubles, but that's been fixed, it seems. Doom, on the old Retron I had, it would have the odd glitch and issue, but on the new, since I updated the firmware, it seems to be much better. But yeah, I'm liking it. I would like it if it did have Game Boy camera support, though. I understand not maybe using the camera, but I would love to be able to take screenshots of the photos I've got on there, because that would be a really cool way of getting the photos off your Game Boy camera.
And you've only got so long to do it because the battery's going to go soon.
Yeah, mine's still working though. It's really good. I
don't understand anyone who has passion for the Game Boy camera as a peripheral.
I love the thing. It was great. Do you see
it was green.
Neil Young did an album cover that's a photo from a Game Boy camera.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember what album it was, but yeah, I love that thing. I went through it the other day. I was going to sell it, and I went through it, and there was pictures of my cat from years ago and stuff like that. And
have you got your Super Game Boy adapter?
I've got the Game Boy Advance player on the SNES GameCube. So what I think I could do is it does work on that.
No. What I was thinking, if you had a Super Game Boy adapter for your SNES, would it work through that?
It might do. What if I try?
Have you got one?
No, I haven't got one.
Well, then how are we going to try?
I'm going to have to try it one day. I'll get one.
Yeah, you can buy one online. Should we see how much they're on eBay? Does anyone want to give us a Super Game Boy adapter?
Yeah, send us one.
Send us one. And give them your address.
Yeah, I'll just give them an address. Just leave it somewhere in Woking, I'll find it.
Send it to Superdrug. But yeah, no, I think
Retron, it's been a fine console so far. The update procedure is a nightmare.
It's not that bad.
It's you have to write a request for the update onto your SD card, plug it into your PC, download the update to that, and then plug it back into the console to do it. Why not just let you download the update to the SD card and plug it in and do it that way?
Because that would be too easy, and you wouldn't feel like you'd earned it.
It's silly. And didn't work the first time.
You can get a boxed one for £19.
Oh, might get one.
Actually, £24 with 4 arcade classics. Sorry, people, bear with us.
There's 2 Super Game Boys as well.
Are there?
Yeah. There was a later version of it.
Okay.
But I've got the Game Boy Advance player on the GameCube.
Oh shit! This one comes with Gallagher, Joust, Defender. I think Lemmings.
I think that was a 4-pack, wasn't it?
No, it must be because
Gallagher, Joust, Defender. I think was a Midway Classics collection.
Oh no, this is okay. So it's Asteroids and Missile Command, Centipede and Millipede, Gallagher and Galaxian, and then Defender and Joust.
Yeah, it's just all the Midway games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Retron 5. It's decent. £130 on Fun Stock. They do discounts every now and again, so keep an eye on that.
I got mine for £135.
Yeah.
I think.
You can get it on Amazon a bit cheaper, but the guy who was selling it on there didn't know what version of the Retron 5 it was, and there has been a hardware revision for the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they are talking about doing another hardware revision soon, which is what the latest firmware update was for.
What though?
I think what they're basically doing is they're going to tweak the the connectors and stuff like that, because that is one thing with it. The connectors for the cartridges are a little stiff, but they have to be, because all the varying different sizes of cartridges and all this sort of stuff. They have to kind of compensate for all that. But yeah, good console. Give it a go. If you don't want to spend that much, a Retro Trio will probably do the job for you.
You can get a Famiclone as well.
Yeah. Or, if you really want to save money and you've got the old consoles, HD Retrovision are doing little component cables for Mega Drives and all this, and they've just announced this week they're going to be region free. So they're going to work on different frequency TVs.
But surely that's going to cost more money if you've got multiple consoles.
Apparently they're selling the cartridges for about £20. The cables, rather. But that's a really nice thing, because you can plug it into your HD TV, it'll clean up the image, it'll look super sharp. Probably as sharp as a Retron does. Yeah. Your review.
My next review is going to be Shovel Knight for the Xbox One.
Yeah, go on.
Believe it or not, that wasn't actually the music from Shovel Knight. That was Ant.
Yeah, I was humming.
Boom. Really good.
We know that. I reviewed it ages ago.
I know you did. And I spoke about it. I played it on the PC.
Yeah.
But I now have it on the Xbox One. It cost me £10 or £9.70 UK money. $15. It's really good. I still have my issues with the game. Not so much the gameplay itself or how tight it is. I more have issues with design.
Design's perfect.
And such.
Game's perfect.
But yeah, all in all, it's really, really good. Really responsive. Looks great. But I mean, pixels are always going to look good because they're sharp.
Yeah. You've done the Battletoads stages yet?
No, not yet. I'm planning to soon.
Yeah, because I was watching the video that being played, and it looks quite smart. It's literally a recreation of some parts of Battletoads.
Yeah, I think it's the Hall of Heroes you go through to get to.
Yeah, on the PS Vita and PS4 version,
You got
it's
Kratos.
Kratos boss
Yeah, but it's
fight.
just a boss battle.
Yeah, it's a multi-stage boss fight. So it's like 3 stages, so there's more to it. And you get at the end you get an armour that's like a silver and red armour that has the Chains of Chaos.
You can play as the Battletoads once you...
I think you get a green armour with them.
Green armour?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, Shovel Knight, really good. I'm looking forward to the add-on. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to pay another 10 quid for it.
Apparently, well, if it's anything like the PC one, all the upgrades and add-ons will be free.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I know that Xbox are a bunch
they're
of
doing the
greedy fuckbags.
Necromonger, whatever his name is, the Plague Knight.
Yeah, Plague Knight.
Yeah.
I like his boss fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. If you haven't played Shovel Knight yet, now's the best time to jump on because it's available on all consoles. There's a little bit of a twinge in gameplay and what you get from each one. Obviously, being an Xbox One owner, I went for that. And I'm not really looking forward to the Battletoads fight because I don't remember that game fondly. I hated it. And
It's a little bit easier, apparently.
No, really?
Because you have to do the bike length section. It's got the bit where you're going down the tunnel, swinging around, and then it's got a bike section.
Those are my
and then
two
a boss
most hated
fight afterwards.
sections.
Yeah, everyone hates those bits. That's why they're in there.
But yeah, Battletoads. God, I fucking hate that game. But Shovel Knight, great. Shovel Knight can also have a William Sadler. Yeah.
I think it's easily the best game of last year. So
No. I wouldn't say.
awesome.
I wouldn't go that far.
I didn't like last year.
Because Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Wolfenstein New Order came out this year.
2014.
Came out this year, didn't it? It was like early this year.
Old Blood, you're thinking of.
No, the new one.
New Order. That
Yeah,
came out last year.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
2015, I believe. It came out early last year.
No one played that game.
Yeah, they did.
No, I didn't play it. No one played it.
But no, it was a really good game, and sort of it was a nice turn. Like when you play something like that, as opposed to playing something like Call of Duty: Advanced Warfare, where I completed the story. I didn't commit to playing that game very much in the single player mode. I think I spent an hour and I got through 3 levels, and now I've completed it. It took me an additional 3 hours to complete it entirely, and it's just not worth 40 quid. And for some reason, I keep getting the add-ons for free. I've had both the add-on packs. I haven't paid for either of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You bought the season pass thing, didn't you?
I don't think I did.
You must have.
Well, I don't even have the disc. It appeared on my Xbox. I bought a physical copy, not planning to have it on my Xbox. It's just appeared on there with both the add-ons. I sold the disc copy for 40 quid, so I haven't paid for anything. I've just been getting the add-ons.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. And also, this is even weirder. When I go on the marketplace, because I was like, maybe I have bought it and I didn't realise, and I go to like fucking look at it on the marketplace, it just says installed, but it doesn't come over my purchase history.
What, did you sure it didn't come pre-installed or something?
100% sure. I got FIFA 14 pre-installed on my Xbox One,
Yeah.
but there was no indication of a code or anything like that. It just appeared on my Xbox One day and started downloading.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would complain though about if someone put a Call of Duty on my console.
I don't complain because it's got Kevin Spacey in it.
Nah.
And also, you know, as much as I hate Call of Duty, I'm really good at the multiplayer. Because it never changes.
No.
It's just like... And also, the Nazi zombie stuff, it's still alright. And John Malkovich is in it now, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay then. Oh dear. Right. Should I review another thing?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I should review the other WB thing this week. Because I haven't done much of anything. The PC version of WWE 2K15, which was released a couple of weeks ago on the old Steams.
I did actually predict this in one of our episodes as well.
Did you?
Yeah, you remember we were talking about it? I said it came out on the PC and you were like, no, it didn't. It definitely come out on the PC.
No, I said it for ages. It will be coming out on PC, but
I said I thought it was out on PC.
No, it wasn't. It only came out a couple of weeks ago. They literally announced it and a week later it's out. It's a bit of a shonky PC port of a game that's kind of shonky to begin with.
Yep.
But like framework and wrestling wise, it's fine. Like I think the controls are fine. The could be a little bit less robotic. It needs that. But here's the thing that I get with this is that everyone moans about it having stuff missing and all this sort of stuff. And there is less features than previous wrestling games. You can't even make women wrestlers in create a wrestler mode.
Because women are bad at wrestling.
It's hard to make women in games.
No,
everyone knows
they're
that.
bad at
Ubisoft
wrestling.
said that. Remember?
No, it's because they're bad at wrestling.
No, they're not. You can get some good women wrestlers. Bull and Acco would
China.
kick your fucking ass.
China with
China was
a Y.
good. But they, it's like, I get it's missing stuff, as people say, but it is genuinely an entirely new engine and an entirely new game for a new console. It's not like the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions where they've like just reskinned the previous game. It's actually a whole new thing. Like even the animation rigs is way more complex than anything that was on the previous generations. But the PC version, like, you can't adjust texture quality, which is really weird. So you're left with VSync, anti-aliasing, tessellation, and you can adjust how densely packed the audience is. And I found the only thing that affects frame rate is dropping down how densely packed the audience is. So now every arena I go into is half full.
No one likes you. You can't. It's just a bar to show how much people like you.
I get the exact same frame rate dips no matter what graphical settings I have. Even if it's at fullest, it'll be the exact same. Like, it'll be running fine 60 frames per second for a while, and then suddenly it'll stutter every now and again. And it's unpredictable, it'll just happen and all this. I think a patch could probably fix it. I think some NVIDIA drivers would be nice. So I'm hoping the next... Because there hasn't been an NVIDIA update for a few weeks. So I'm hoping the next one maybe will have something for 2K15 on there.
Do they? And this is something that no other sports game has done. People have tried to do something similar, but do they have events where you can be in the crowd watching what is going to be the next pay-per-view? So, you know, like, and then setting it on automated mode so that people just fight computer controlled.
What, so the game just plays the pay-per-view?
Yeah, and it predicts who's going to win the pay-per-view.
No. But they used to have create a pay-per-view mode on the wrestling games.
I remember that.
The reason why they won't do that, though, is because the rosters are usually fairly out of date by the time the game comes out, so you probably wouldn't have everyone who's going to be in there. Because there's a cut-off point, and they have to... I say a cut-off point, it's a loose cut-off point. They don't have... Everyone seems to think they say, SummerSlam, any wrestlers that debut after that can't be in it. It's not true. It's wherever they feel it's worth making those extra characters for. Because chances are the moveset's in there already.
Yeah.
If those wrestlers have been around everywhere, they've probably already chucked the moves in there anyway, because they're fans and they know people will create them.
Yeah.
But there's a rumour Samoa Joe's going to be in it, which would be quite amazing, because he hasn't even debuted in WWE yet.
I don't know who that is.
He's a wrestler who's been in TNA for years, and everyone for years has been going, he's wasted there. He's a really good wrestler, big dude. But in the next game, rather. He'd be in. But I think it's as a wrestling game, it's fine, and there's features missing, but there's still a shitload of stuff in there.
Yeah.
The My Career mode is like the NBA 2K15 My Career mode. You start off at the lowest possible point, and you just work your way through like NXT.
Are you saying you started from the bottom, now you're here?
But you start off in a developmental thing, and your other wrestlers that are there in the tryouts to get a job in WWE, they're all like these randomly generated creator wrestlers that the game's chucked up.
They just look like fucking mad people.
I assume they're randomly generated. They all look terrible. Yeah. But you have like a tryout in their training centre they've got, which is a real thing. They have like this place with like 6 rings in it, and they train wrestlers in there. Yeah. And then you go on to NXT, and then you work your way through the small shows and into the main event, and the managers will be like, "Hey, we think you've done real good. Come do this." You don't actually...
Stanley Tucci comes out and he sits you down and he goes, "No fluids until the procedure tomorrow," and he injects you with something, and then you go in the Vita chamber and you come out and you're like massive.
I don't think Stanley Tucci...
You start off really scrawny, like you've got polio, and you're slapping people like, "Ah! Ah!" They're like, "Oh, we love your character. Come with us." And Stanley Tucci's like, "I'm going to give you a specialist injection. Here you go, have some schnapps." "Oh, no drinking for you. Your procedure is tomorrow."
That's not how wrestling works.
What, Hayley Atwell? She plays Agent Peggy.
No, that's Captain...
She's like... Hugo Weaving comes along, he's like, Mr.
That's Captain America. Wrestling isn't Captain America. There was a wrestler called Mr. America. No one knows who he was. He could have been Hulk Hogan, though. In disguise. It was a mystery.
So then Stanley Tucci kidnaps a girl and locks her in a room below a field. Then he rapes and kills her. And they don't find her body because he throws it into like a...
That's the storyline to Transformers Rise of the Darkspark.
Then Stanley Tucci's the assistant to a woman who works in New York. Anne Hathaway's hired by Meryl Streep to be her assistant. And
that's Transformers Rise of the Darkspark. But no, it's decent. Like, there's more stuff than My Career mode. There's the Universe mode, which is like a persistent thing where you just have like it goes through like the Monday show, the Tuesday show, pay-per-view, and you just play, and you and friends can play multiplayer on it, and you can choose what matches are going to happen and all this sort of stuff.
Wait. It's
quite smart. Like you're basically like you're managing the show.
Friday comes, the weekend starts.
Yes. But there's also a showcase mode, as they call it.
Yeah.
Which is you play through classic feuds over the years, and that's quite cool because it's like the wrestlers are wearing the right wrestling gear for that pay-per-view event or that episode of Raw,
Okay.
and you'll unlock an arena that's like a random arena from 2002 or something, which normally they wouldn't do. They just have the current year's ones. So that's quite cool. And the download content that you're going to get added to the PC version later is free, including the price of it, which is quite smart.
Yeah.
Rather than the season pass thing they had on other consoles. Some of those have like arenas from like 1980s and stuff like that. They've got their own showcase mode, so you can play through Ultimate Warrior's career, which is quite smart.
Do you remember the time that Hulk Hogan lost his job as a wrestler and then became a nanny?
He was still wrestling then in WWF.
He hung out with Cheech Marin.
He was still in WWF at that time.
And then he also hung out with the lawyer who Uncle Phil knew in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No one liked Mr. Nanny.
Everyone likes him.
He left WWF in 1994, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that's because he got a deal with Turner Network to do Thunder in Paradise,
Yeah.
the TV series. But while he was doing that, he was kind of getting the itch to go back to wrestling. And because he was already at Turner Network, they were like, well, why don't you just like wrestle for WCW? Because it's right around the corner
TNA.
from where we film all this crap. TNA didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
But so he basically did WCW at
Which
that
became
time.
ECW?
No, WCW is over. ECW is another thing.
Oh.
But he did WCW at the time, literally because he was already under contract with Turner for that TV series. It was right around the corner. He
Is
could
that
just
the one with
film both.
Speedboat?
Yeah, Thunder in Paradise, man. Classic.
I remember that.
There's that one where he gives someone the advice of how to hold their breath underwater by basically hyperventilating themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good advice. And I expect that advice from Hogan, a man who claims that he was almost in Metallica. He wasn't almost in Metallica.
Have you heard the song by Metallica called Real American?
Real American.
It goes, I am a real American.
No, that's Rick Derringer.
Fighting for rights
No.
of every man.
That's Rick Derringer.
I am a real American.
Part written by Jimmy Hart.
Fight for your right. Fight for your life.
In fact, Hogan's old manager and best friend Jimmy Hart was in a pop band in the 60s, and in America they actually knocked the Beatles off the charts, off the top of the charts
In the 80s?
in the 60s.
No, in the 60s?
Yeah.
Was it on the back end of the Beatles' career?
No, when they were writing the full blown "I Wanna Hold Your Hand" that time.
They would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. I can't remember what the name of the band was, but anyway, W2K15. It's decent.
The Beatles
but
too.
It's one of those things where I think it could really do with a patch to increase the stability of the game. When the download content comes out, that's some really good download content, and there's a lot of it. One of them's one of those ones where you can unlock all the extras in the game, which is bullshit. But
Easy fatalities.
But that isn't a separate purchase that you make. It's included in the season pass anyway. It's a bonus for buying the season pass and getting the rest of the download content. But it's not like Mortal Kombat where they just sell unlocking everything as its own item.
God, this game.
Like, if that was included with the season pass, I don't think people would moan.
No, I think people wouldn't moan if that was an option. But because it's something you have to
20
pay
quid.
for. Yeah. It's
If it was
ridiculous.
£3,
Even if it was £3, it's too much money. It's an option. It's like, do you remember you used to unlock fighters in video games?
yeah,
And now
Costumes.
you have to buy them?
yeah,
That just doesn't make any sense.
just balls. Anyway,
Um,
review a thing.
I was going to ask you actually, before we go on to the next review.
No.
You're talking about wrestling games.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't it be awesome if instead of wrestling games having like these realistic looking people, you basically played as the toys you had as a kid?
There was Ultimate Muscle based on the anime series.
Yeah, fuck that. That was because
One of your characters has a curry dish on his head.
Fishes for their face.
Some of them did.
Yeah. But
That was awesome though. It was like playing with action figures. They were action figures. Military muscle men, the figures from the 80s were
but
Ultimate
instead,
Muscle
like
figures.
actual action figures with like the joins and shit, and like as they come down in the packaging from the costume you picked. So they'd have the 1980s one, and then they'd like, and they just like, and then like jump out into the ring.
The only
and the
move
ring
they
is
can
like,
do is like the one where you squeeze their legs together and he does a slap.
No, that'd be like a special move. Like a hand would reach in and they'd slap.
There was
And then-
for that sort of look, there was WWE All Stars, which was like
Yeah, no, I
a
saw
whole bunch
that,
of
yeah.
wrestlers, but they're all like big, bulky action
Yeah.
figure looking dudes. They used the character model for Ultimate Warrior from that game in WWE 2K14, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, it looked so wrong. Like the textures were the same. They tweaked it slightly to make him slightly smaller, but it still had the same textures.
That's weird.
It looked really wrong.
Yeah,
The new Ultimate Warrior looks excellent. The Ultimate Warrior in the new one looks brilliant.
Andre the Giant looked cool in All Stars.
He looks terrible in most things.
like a peanut? But yeah, no, I think that'd be a really good idea if they're like instead of calling it like WCW or some shit like that, you could call it like
The Ultimate Muscle game, which I sold, I wish I didn't. That was ridiculous and over the top and brilliant.
Yeah, I remember the Ultimate Muscle game and I didn't like it
I loved it.
because it was just side on, wasn't it? It was like
No.
Tekken.
No, it was a proper wrestling game on the GameCube.
Yeah, it was a proper wrestling game, but it was like side on.
No.
And you go in and you like...
No, it's a proper wrestling game. You run all around the arena.
Why do all people in wrestling get overarm? I don't understand it.
It's dramatic and people can see it from the back of the arena.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it's not like actually hitting someone.
It's one of my favourite wrestling stories was when someone told Mickie James, the wrestler, to learn how to throw punches properly, and she was like, "I learned how to throw a punch properly when John Cena does," which I thought was funny.
I don't know who either of those people. Oh no, actually no, I know who John Cena is. Yeah. Which is the lady who did a porn?
Lots of them.
But who is the lady who most recently did a porn?
Well, China did some.
Oh yeah, there you go, China, and she's massive, isn't she?
She's in the Avengers one.
Yeah, I've seen
playing
that.
She-Hulk.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Actually, alright, I'm on to my... What review is this for me?
Your last one?
Is it my last one?
Your third one?
I think it's my third one. What was that? Was that your third one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to review Avengers Triple X 2.
Oh.
I didn't really focus too much on the plot
Wasn't
of this
there more
one.
characters than the Avengers
No, right,
weren't there?
yes, there were, but listen. And Scarlet Witch isn't in it.
Oh, why?
I think she might be, but they've all got weird names.
I heard that she's a bit of a bender. She bends reality. You see, that's what I did there.
Not funny.
They could have had an incest scene between her and Quicksilver.
They could have, and they could have sold.
And it could have been
millions
over
of
really
copies.
quickly.
Yeah, millions of copies. But no,
Maybe
anyway,
it did happen. It's one
so
frame.
I saw the Avengers: Age of Ultron, which we spoke in great detail last time.
Yeah.
And
it was watchable.
Yeah, it was an alright film. We both enjoyed it. So I went and saw if there was anything like that I could possibly watch. And in finding Grim Avengers, which is apparently a film made by Asylum in which a bunch of Avengers, a bunch of people from literary works get together and fight crime.
That's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
But it's women. But anyway, so yeah, there's an Avengers Triple X 2. Which doesn't seem to follow the plotline of the Avengers it's based on.
I don't.
Nick Fury.
Is it directed by Axel? What's his face?
I don't know.
The guy who did the Batman one.
Possibly. But I'm going to try and relay the plot as best I can.
Plot?
Yeah. So it starts out, I'm pretty sure this is the first scene. Nick Fury is talking about how they're going to fight some aliens, but I didn't see any aliens. And then he starts fucking Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, he starts fucking her.
Should crush him.
And then after
which Miss Marvel?
Wait,
Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers.
Oh, that's okay.
With like the sash and everything. She actually doesn't look too much dissimilar from Carol Danvers.
No, they usually cast better lookalikes in.
But yeah, so Nick Fury fucks her. Nick Fury is still black. He's not David Hasselhoff Nick Fury.
Well, of course, it's a porno.
Yeah. And then Hawkeye fucks some lady who's not in the Avengers in real life. She's not like one of the...
Spider-Woman in it.
Spider-Woman's in it.
Yeah.
She gets fucked. Loads of people just fuck each other.
That's what porn is.
Well, at the end, there's a freeway scene. And like
a freeway as in on a freeway.
Because
there's a
budget
scene like
for that
set. Oh, okay.
Oh, and Iron Man. Iron Man's not in it very much. I don't think he has a fuck scene.
It's hard to get out of the suit.
You can just have like a robo-deck.
Yeah.
But,
extremist armor, man.
You know, like, have you seen?
Edge, just.
Did you watch the Avengers Triple X, the original one?
All right, because I don't want to see China.
There was kind of a plot,
drilled,
and it was quite funny because it was like imagine if someone went, "I want to make an Avengers film, but I've just got porn stars."
I saw some of the Batman one, which was amazing because the guy who played the Joker had a mustache underneath his makeup.
Yeah. But
and the Dutch angles.
Holy shit! It was awful. There's no plot to it. It's just loads of fucking scenes. I'm pretty sure there is a villain, but she gets fucked into submission. It's maddening. But I watched it all the way through, and God, it's fucking. You know when you're watching porn with your family? No, I sat there and watched it, and I was just like, I'm embarrassed to watch this.
Axel Braun. It was Axel Braun.
I'm more embarrassed to watch this.
Along came a spider.
What?
That's the subheading for it.
That's brilliant. I was more embarrassed to watch this than I would be if I was caught watching actual porn because it's just fucking weird. It's not like it's not attractive. It's just odd. But yeah,
there was a
the
day
Avengers...
when watching something like that would be preferable to watching comic book movies. Not even kidding. Like think about the time when Steel and stuff like that were coming out. Spawn's
look, right. I always love the chance to watch some porn. I enjoy shit like that just because it's weird. Like porn films based on, and I'm not talking about like when you're watching 5 minutes of porn just to have a quick, but I'm talking about more like I watch porn films in their entirety trying to get plot from them. I find it funny. It's almost like watching a comedy film nowadays because it's just fucking your retinas. Instead of watching something that's fucking your retinas, you're watching people fuck each other. It's quite nice. It's a change of pace. But it's stuff like this where it's just an excuse to have like 6 fuck scenes in a row. There's no entertainment value to it. I mean, you could really argue the point. Why isn't this just 40 minutes? Much like the real Avengers 2, this probably needed some cuts and editing to go into it.
What you're cutting, man.
But
it's not a Jewish movie.
But yeah, I give it.
There's a 4 one.
Is there?
Yeah, bet no one can pick that hammer up.
I wonder if it's 4 black holes.
There's all of them, man.
But yeah, so I watched that, and I give it an Adam Sandler. It's probably worse for you than some diseases.
Wait, Mockingbird and Black Cat are in here. They don't have sex. Outrageous.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my review number 3.
That was valuable.
It's your turn. Well, I thought we might as well mix up and review something that we don't usually review and
porn.
I did watch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I thought, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
It's been a busy week for me. I could have talked about Welcome to Me, the Kirsten Wiig comedy produced by Dirty Sanchez, Will Ferrell's company, and that was incredibly enjoyable. And it's actually quite a nice depiction.
Was it porn though?
No, it's a film about a woman who wins the lottery. She's bipolar and she decides to make her own TV program, much like Oprah's TV program, and it ends up just being her slow decline into madness because she goes off her meds. Yeah. It's a really, really good film. Really heartfelt comedy. There are some funny moments. There are some cringeworthy moments. And there are some darker moments because when talking about mental illness, it's always good to have those moments to, add... It just adds... The whole thing feels more serious in those moments where it needs to, as opposed to a film like, say, Anchorman, where they Anchorman 2, where they mock the blind for 15 minutes, expect you to laugh, and then sit there wallowing in their own fucking stupid grandeur fucking little scene where it's like... You know the fight scene at the end of Anchorman?
Yeah.
Fine. You got a couple of cameos, it's funny.
I saw the fight scene in Anchorman 2 on YouTube.
Anchorman 2 is just a fucking stupid pile of cunt mess. What the fuck are you doing? It's like a fucking murder scene.
You probably should have saved one of those reviews for the full film.
I don't care. Anyway, yeah, so I'd recommend Welcome to Me if you're looking for a film that isn't porn. It's a very good comedy film. It's on VOD right now in America. If you're not in America, then your review.
I'm going to end my reviews on the most depressing thing I've seen in weeks, Jack and Jill, the Adam Sandler film.
Speaking of Adam Sandler and cunt messes.
Yeah. I don't know why I watched it. I think I switched on Netflix and it was there and I was like, that'll make a funny review. And it seems to, maybe it is funny. I got a lot of likes and follows from Film Dump today after I posted the review last night. Filmdump.com. But yeah.
Taking a dump on film.
This film's fucking awful.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes in, there's a fart gag. It's not even a joke. It's a fart gag. Just the kid farts in a bath. And the 2 minutes preceding that is just twins talking about being twins. So that's before the film's even started. Like, the first thing that happens is a character farts. And then there's more fart jokes, and then people fall over. And Adam Sandler's a horrible person, and his sister's irritating as hell. And the film's about mocking her. She's a lonely person, and the film's about mocking her.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter that Adam Sandler's playing her, because he's not playing Adam Sandler in that bit. The Jack is Adam Sandler, and he doesn't get mocked, and he doesn't fall over and get hurt. He's just kind of there. I like the genius stroke of making him an advertising executive, because it allowed him to have context to his product placement for once. So well done, Adam Sandler. That was clever. You should cast yourself as an advertising executive in every film you make. Ugh. But its product placement's abysmal in it. Just horrible. There's a literal advert for Royal Caribbean Cruises. There's a bit
for a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, the whole film revolves around making a Dunkin' Donuts ad. Yeah. There's a bit where the establishing shot in a scene is the back of a Sony Vaio computer with the Sony Vaio computer logo taking up the entire screen as it pans over to reveal Adam Sandler at the computer. What was the other? The bit in the cinema where they're sat there and they've all got a Coke cup each. Like, every seat has a Coke cup. Not everyone gets a Coke in the cinema, but everyone has a Coke cup. And even their popcorn has Coca-Cola logos on it, pointed towards the camera. So in one shot, you've got 3 characters sat there, there's 4 Coke cups, and each of them have a bag of popcorn. So you've got like 7 Coca-Cola logos pointed at you.
Coke on Coke on Coke.
Coca-Cola. But this film cost 80 million to make. There's
2 sets.
Loads of green screen that's just really shonky. Dodgy. It's just... He doesn't care.
So much racism.
Like, we literally have the Mexican stuff. And his entire joke is that he says, I'm kidding. The bit where he said once in an interview that he does films based on where he wants to go on holiday.
Yeah, it was based on the planet.
Yeah, and he literally not only takes us on his cruise holiday with him, but makes us watch an advert for the cruise first.
Look, as much as I love referencing stupid shit that Adam Sandler has said in the past, even if you were to never have seen or read anything, or any diatribe, or any information about Adam Sandler before seeing this film, and you watch this film, you would still find it sinister, regardless of the holiday line. I think a lot of people reference the holiday line now, and it's like, it's their definition. Not their definition. It's their way of justifying hate for Adam Sandler. I justify my hate for Adam Sandler by the mean-spirited jokes in regards to transgenderism, racism, sexualism. Sexualism?
Just anyone
sexism.
who isn't Adam Sandler.
Yeah. You can make a joke, and a joke can be harmless. Or you can make a joke and you can make it an incredibly harmful and mean-spirited thing. Yeah. And he makes the last choice every time.
It's just terrible. He shouldn't be writing films.
Well, he didn't.
He wrote that.
No, he didn't. It was that Duncan Dugan, whatever.
Duncan Dugan directed it. He wrote it. Adam Sandler wrote it because I checked because I was looking over the writing credits because I wanted to find out if he wrote funny people or had any hand in writing Punch Drunk Love. Clearly didn't.
Nope.
No.
Both written by other people.
Spanglish, did he write that? I don't think he did. No. Spanglish is actually like mediocre, but it's watchable. Like,
well, I actually really like Spanglish, and also it's a great narrative on race.
Rain
Compared
Over
to
Me.
what he does now.
Great film.
Rain Over Me is incredibly heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I think Don Cheadle makes that film though.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people say Adam Sandler's the big thing about it, but it's basically Adam Sandler going, I'm 12 again, I don't want to get in the bathroom. It's like, well, fuck off then. Just,
Do you know what Don Cheadle's best role of all time was?
What?
Captain Planet.
Was he Captain Planet?
Have you ever seen the college humour Captain Planet?
Oh, no.
Where he just starts turning everyone into a tree. He's like, you're a tree. No, you're a tree. Don't fuck with me. I'm Captain Planet.
No, I haven't seen that. That'd be awesome. But I hate Jack and Jill.
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible film. I've not seen That's My Boy yet. Doesn't actually have... that actually has incest in it, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's My Boy. That's My Boy is as bad as Jack and Jill. One of the nice things about That's My Boy is that he swears in it, but he swears, we're doing this accent. He's like, I come from
Jack and Jill's only a PG.
Yeah, I don't get that.
How the hell did they get, like... Oh,
there was a joke. I remember there was a joke.
No, the boob thing. That's the one joke.
That was the one joke. That was the one set up joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one joke in the whole film.
Hey, do you like it when you get celebrity cameos in a film?
No.
How about when those celebrities are incredibly embarrassed to be in that film?
Bruce Jenner stood there looking incredibly embarrassed.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. Yeah, didn't want to be there. I actually think they literally just like Johnny Depp was sat there at an actual basketball game.
That wasn't shot in an actual basketball game. Don't be fucking stupid. Do you remember that shot?
Yeah, it's all horrible.
The camera is 4 meters back, and no player runs past the screen at any point. What
if they just shot it really badly? And Al Pacino just came and sat next to him, and Johnny Depp was confused, and then the scene happened around him.
A real basketball game. You can tell it's not a real basketball game because they're in some fucking. The benches were just.
They went to a basketball game and they filmed a basketball game.
What?
Yeah, there's a basketball game going on.
Stock footage.
Yeah, but they must have filmed it. Probably wasn't stock footage.
It was stock.
It wasn't from TV or anything like that. It was filmed on the court.
Nah.
I like the cinema bit where it's just literally that 5 rows of seats.
Oh yeah.
The best bit was the little kid punching Jill in the face.
No, it wasn't.
Because to me, that's just Adam Sandler in drag, and then Adam Sandler got punched in the face, and I was like, that's funny.
Are you going to watch Grown Ups 2 now?
No. I've not even seen the first one.
Are you going to watch Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 now?
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah, you should double team those two.
No, God no. I don't want to double team anything.
You want to watch Grown Ups 1 and then Grown Ups 2, and you want to compare the two, take notes the whole time, you want to make a comparison between the two. Great films. They're not.
This is only the second Adam Sandler film reviewed on my site.
What was the other one?
Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, good film.
Yeah. I even wrote a thing about does Adam Sandler not give a shit?
Oh, no.
No, he doesn't. No. I should review 8 Crazy Nights at Christmas, shouldn't I?
I don't mind 8 Crazy Nights.
It's fucking horrible.
I don't mind it. I just wish they didn't sing.
Oh.
And it was only 30 minutes long.
And what was the old man with his ridiculous voice? and the adverts again. And wasn't there a reindeer pooping in the street and then eating shit? Like, yeah, that film's terrible. Review something quick before I think about Adam Sandler anymore.
Well, I'm going to review Grown Ups 1 and 2. No, I am going to review. Let me just quickly go to my list of things that I can review because
could have reviewed that Kirsten Wiig film.
That Kirsten Wiig.
Wiig.
What?
Her name's Wiig. W-I-I-G. It's Wiig. It's a German name.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to review. Great film. I'm going to review.
I'm going to go do an upper decker.
What am I going to review? I've seen a bunch of shit. Like, I don't know what... I've seen so much
Well, you should have thought about that before you...
I'm going to review Last Man on Earth, the first season.
I haven't seen that. I want to watch it.
Last Man on Earth is a great series starring...
Kristen Schaal and MacGruber.
Yeah. Christian Schaal and... God, I can't remember his fucking name.
MacGruber.
No, his name's not MacGruber, but he plays Phil Miller.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the story of a man who believes he's the last man on Earth until one day a woman enters the fray. He decides that this woman and him need to procreate because human race needs to survive.
It's Kristen Schaal. I mean,
Kristen Schaal.
I would. She's a lovely lady.
She is a lovely lady.
She's weird.
Odd lady. So yeah, he decides to do that. She won't do it until they get married. Spoilers: they get married and then they fuck, and it's atrocious. And Phil's upset, and he decides that he'd prefer to be the last man on Earth after meeting her. And then another woman turns up. This woman is a very attractive lady. And he's like, oh, I want to sleep with this lady. Maybe because we need to increase our chances of, procreating the Earth, we should sleep together. She's like, yeah, sure, it makes sense. Once a month, we've agreed it between us, me and your wife. And then all of a sudden, another man turns up named Todd. And he's a very sweet, very large Mexican man who's, he's got a lot of skills at his disposal. Because he keeps... Will Forte. Because he allows himself in certain situations. And then Todd becomes... Phil becomes jealous and is trying to kill Todd. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff happen. There are more people introduced later on as well. It just, essentially, The Last Man on Earth becomes an ironic... Essentially, The Last Man on Earth becomes an ironic title because he's not the only man on Earth. He's not even the only man to be called Phil Miller left on the Earth, which is even more interesting. But it's a very good comedy series. One of the things that I miss in the first few episodes, you get an idea that Phil is a very destructive person just to entertain his own things. There's a scene about him smashing. First, he starts off just bowling. And he goes from bowling to smashing fish tanks that he piles up into a triangle. And he goes from smashing fish tanks to blowing up a car that he fills with gas just so that he can destroy something. He's incredibly destructive. He opens a door with a gun at one point. He just shoots through glass in this door so he can walk through to chat up a mannequin. And it's great. And there's this sort of irrelevance to everything he's doing because he is the last man on Earth. Then you find out there are more people and it becomes more about building a society. But that goes wrong because he's just this manipulative, lying little prick. And he becomes very unlikable halfway through. Then he has sort of a revelation towards the end and he's like, becomes a little bit more likable, but you get the sense that maybe he's not changed. And then at the end, there's another reveal that possibly that there's more going on than we even begin to think once we see other people turning up. And it's really nice. And they have an idea of a universe they'd like to build. And you get a sense of that without it feeling bloated. And I think that's the nice thing about having a series. Because they originally wanted a film based on this idea. And that would never work because you'd introduce elements and there'd be no suspense to the elements. You'd just be like, oh, look, there's more people. By the end, you'd be like, well, it doesn't really fucking matter because there's like 20 people left. Who cares? But with a series, each time someone arrives, it would be sort of the cliffhanger to the next one. Like Todd, massively overweight Mexican guy, arrives in a Ferrari. Just like a really cheesy 80s film. He's like got the aviator glasses and he takes them off when he sees the sign that says Alive in Tuscan. And people start heading towards Tuscan. And he's like, alright, and gets back in his car and drives towards Tuscan. And then when he's revealed to be this massively overweight guy, you're like, oh, okay. I thought it was going to be this cool 80s style, like chiseled good looks and a mullet and the aviators and all this shit. But no, nothing like that. And I thought that was quite good. It's made by the same people that made the Lego Movie. Probably my favourite film of last year, if I'm honest. I kept watching the Lego Movie. Sometimes I'd forget I'd seen it in that week and watch it twice in a week. There aren't many films that handle narrative so well, and I think that that's partly to do with the directors, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Yeah.
They're both really clever guys.
They're doing the Lego Batman film.
They are doing the Lego Batman film. They also did 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. I wasn't a massive fan of 22 Jump Street, but I think it realised how stupid it was because at the end it had that fantastic scene where they were like, oh, look, it's 23 Jump Street, Men in Black, and they're going to do that now.
Oh, they're going to make... So that actually came from somewhere.
That came
it wasn't.
It wasn't just an irrelevant joke.
It just wasn't some dumb thing that it was in the Sony email because they were like, let's just tie them together.
Which does beg the question because they did like Wild West and shit like that. They had like a bunch of stupid posters like 25 Jump Street in space and shit like that. And so it just makes you think that, you know, they've taken these characters that were in the same situation twice and they've seen the stupidity of that, so they've just gone, what can we fucking conjure up in our imagination? What could be the possible thing that
I'd rather have a Men in Black crossover with something like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like those two guys.
But I want Tucker and Dale versus Evil to be teamed up with... I
don't want to be always a horror film. I want it to be Abbott and Costello style, where they just get dragged into different adventures out of their element.
See, my problem is that I've been let down so many times by premises that sounded amazing but never came. And things like Men in Black with 21 Jump Street, I'm never going to get 21 Jump Street and Ghostbusters. I'm never going to get Ghostbusters and Men in Black. I mean, but now because 21 Jump Street's going to Men in Black, that's a stepping stone because they're all in the same company. They're all Sony.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that this could start the ball rolling on people just, fuck it. This is a comedy film. Of course we don't need to worry about rules. It's like a sci-fi film. It's like if Star Wars met Star Trek. It doesn't fucking matter if you don't agree with it. It doesn't matter if you say it won't work because it's what they want to fucking do. It's sci-fi. They'll be like, oh, there's a temporal wormhole coming up. All of a sudden we're in fucking Star Trek land. There's fucking whales and Spock and who gives a shit? Like, you don't need to worry. Just fucking turn your brain off.
Where would you fit that in the continuity, man? Star Trek.
Wherever you want. It's a wormhole. Wormholes can be anywhere.
Create another universe, man.
Yeah, go for it. Fuck it. Who cares? Who fucking cares?
I think Spock should have cared before he friggin' chased what's-his-face, Eric Bana, back in time.
But anyway, so like I'm saying, it's...
blow up Vulcan.
The Lego movie and by extension this, like, everything that they've done so far has impressed me, and this especially has been something that I saw the trailer a year ago, and it's that thing where he's making Pop-Tarts. He's got Pop-Tarts that he's put peanut butter and jelly in, and he's eating a peanut butter and Pop-Tart sandwich, and it's fucking incredible. And he's like taking a Monet off the thing, and he's getting peanut butter on it, and he's just wiping it off with his hoodie sleeve, just like, oh, that's fine. I liked it. I really liked it. I'd give this a solid Tom Atkins. It's probably the first Tom Atkins I've given in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I need to get around to it. Because I follow Kristen Shell on Twitter and she's just constantly tweeting about it. And
she's really good in it. Really sweet. Like, you know where you just imagine you had the perfect girlfriend. She was willing to fuck you and do all this other stuff, and she's willing to like accept you for your flaws. You just have to accept her for hers as well.
Is she crazy?
She's not crazy, but maybe she has a sleep apnea mask. And she's not insane, but maybe she wants to move in with you and you're not accepting it, so she sort of...
Because I like her in 30 Rock, when she basically becomes the crazy...
Yeah, she becomes crazy. She replaces...
Kevin.
Yeah.
But
she's really good in it. Will Forte's really good in it. A little bit wasted is... God, who's the fucking woman? Jessica Jones? Is it Jessica Jones?
January Jones, isn't it?
January Jones? That's it. Yeah, January Jones. She's a little bit wasted because she just plays like...
She's not very good.
She plays like, oh, I'm a hot girl. But then you see her forming a relationship with Todd and you're like, maybe she doesn't care about looks. Maybe she is just,
Does she blink every other word like she did in bloody X-Men First Class? Because that irritated the hell out of me.
But yeah, all in all, I was really impressed with it. I mean, in the future, we're gonna see the Men in Black 21 Jump Street thing come about, and I think there was a joke about them being part of the Ghostbusters as well. If the Ghostbusters thing does well, then that'd be cool. Is Kirsten Wiig one of the Ghostbusters?
Depends which one of the Ghostbusters you're looking at.
The male version.
The only thing we're doing the Ghostbusters thing is that Channing Tatum's signed on to doing a Ghostbusters film, isn't he?
God, that'd be awesome. I really like Channing Tatum.
Oh dear.
Do you not?
I don't know.
You've seen This Is the End.
His face looks like a potato.
His face doesn't. He's a very handsome man. Have you seen This Is the End?
No, I need to see that.
Oh, shit. There's a great Channing Tatum joke in that.
Is there?
It doesn't ruin the film for you if I tell you this.
He likes Tatum and...
No. They in the beginning, they're making jokes about how they would fuck Channing Tatum.
Well, he would fuck them.
They'd be like, I'd call him Channing Tatum, and stuff like that. And then at the end, the bad guy, it turns out he's fucking Channing Tatum. He's got him as like his fuck, like a gimp. He's got him in a gimp outfit, and he's like, you see this shit? I slipped right in there. And Channing Tatum, to reveal that he's in this 5-second cameo, he literally never, he was a big star at the time of that film coming out. Literally no other time in that film does he appear. And then at the end, he's just like, oh, hey guys. And it's like, yeah, that's right, Channing Tatum. Like, this shit slips right in here. And he just zips his hood back up, and that's it. I mean, that's fucking incredible. That's great. And like I said, 21 Jump Street, he, you know the scene where he's on the drugs and he goes into the band room and they're all like playing and he's playing the gong.
I've still not seen 21 Jump Street.
Oh, fuck. He jumps for a gong. And the way that came about was the two guys, you know, the ones who wrote it, Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yeah.
they basically said to him, look, what do you want to do? And he's like, I can jump through that gong. And they're like, what, you sure? Because we could get a stunned person to do that. He goes, no, I'll just jump through the gong. It's fine. They're like, fly straight through this gong. Incredible. Yeah, really good. But yeah, Last Man on Earth. Strong Tom Atkins on that one.
Yay. Okay, so I guess that's it. That's all our reviews exhausted. You've done everything. You reviewed one extra thing. You snuck one extra one in there, you cheeky bugger.
Who gives a fuck?
I'll have more stuff to review next time, because by next time I would have watched Mad Max Fury Road.
I've got some films for you.
I will finally got playing Broken Age 2, Act 2, which I only played 15 minutes of. I literally played the bit I recorded and put on YouTube and haven't played it since.
I was going to do Revelations 2, but I didn't even get past the first episode.
Finish the whole thing.
I'm going to.
Don't waste people's time with
I might review Raid
reviews.
mode separately from Revelations 2, the story mode, because I play a lot of Raid. Do love Raid mode. Do you remember when it was introduced? Resident Evil 3?
Was it Mercenaries?
Yeah, Mercenaries.
Is literally what Raid mode is? Just
No.
Mercenaries,
It started as Mercenaries, and then you had Resident Evil 4. Yeah. And Raid mode was basically you got given an environment, and waves of zombies would come in, and you just had to keep chaining them together to kill them.
Yeah.
And the more you killed, the more time you got, and the more time you got, the higher you could get a score. And then you'd unlock other fighters to go in.
Yeah.
Like you'd have Hunk, you'd have Krauser, and you'd have the woman Jill and Ada.
I'll have to play it eventually, but Resident Evil's gone a bit for me.
Well, I thought that, and then I'd play Revelations and Revelations 2. And they're pretty solid. Yeah. Revelations, the one thing I hate about Revelations is don't play on the Wii U.
No, I'll play it on the 3DS if I get a version.
Yeah, it's like $5 on the 3DS, you might as well buy it. But yeah, on the Wii U, you have a scanning mode, and they want you to hold the joypad up and be like...
Oh, fuck that noise.
Just like on Zombie U, that was one of the things that took me out of Zombie U, is like you're playing a game and then you go...
Yeah, screw that.
Not great.
Anyway, but, Critapocalypse.
Yeah, that's episode 16.
616.
16. We are fucking awesome at this now. We're just breaking these down.
Almost like pros.
Yeah.
I'm going to go have some food. Bye.
Bye.